Good morning. This is John, Big Dog Wagner, getting ready to start my day. Well, actually, getting ready to start my day off. uh, I just had a long run coming across, dealt with a lot of bad weather, stuff like that. But made it safely, got my delivery, and now I'm on 34. So, anyway, to continue with what I was talking about and what I was doing, by now, if you're watching my videos, you should have a pretty good understanding of what lease purchase is. Okay. Now, with that understanding, you have to make that decision of whether or not this is for you. I don't envy you making your decision. I know when it came time for me to make my decision, as I had mentioned before, there's a lot of misinformation out there, both good and bad. You don't know what to believe. You don't know what's true. You don't know what's not true. Just being honest with you. For me, I knew that driving company was not for me. So for me, nothing from nothing leaves nothing, so I'll give it a shot. And then I had a defining moment. My defining moment was I was in Utah. I was still driving for the previous company. And I was at a truck stop about 4 o'clock in the morning. And I saw a Super Eagle truck. Kind of amazing because I don't know if you guys noticed, but until you actually focus on a company, you don't see that company anywhere. And then once you focus on it, you see that company everywhere. So on this very same day, I had kind of made the decision that I was going to give it a shot. But I still had my skepticisms. I still had, there's something still in the back of my mind. I was like, well, So I was at this truck stop, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'd just gone inside to take care of some business. I come back out, there's a Super Eagle truck. Guy's outside, he's on break, getting some air. And I spoke to him. And how do I put this? He was a very interesting individual. But I figure with all the videos and with all the reviews and with all the, let me talk to somebody who's actually driving. As the saying goes, you want to learn how to be a pilot, don't learn from the guy sitting in the office, learn from the guy who's at the stick, right? Let me talk to the guy who's actually driving and see what he has to say. And he told me a lot. He informed me a lot. But the biggest thing that he informed me that rang out in my head was that he averages $1,500 a week. And when I started asking him some of the more technical questions about the business, he didn't know. He had no clue. He didn't know how to do his own bookings. He doesn't know what he's looking for. He's looking for a ride. He doesn't know. And admittedly, he doesn't know. But he says, they got a job for me, to give me the job, I go do it. And he showed me statements. He averages $1,500 a week. That particular week, his payout was not quite $1,500 because he had money taken out for a repair that he had on his truck. But taking out that repair, he was at about $1,700 that week. So at that point, I said to myself, and this may come across kind of egotistical, but if this guy can get out there and make $1,500 a week, I know I can. I know I can make more. And driving for company, my best weeks before taxes, I wasn't making $1,500. So at this point, really, what have I got to lose? So I put in my 2-week notice at my company. I bought an airplane ticket. The day I turned my truck in, I pulled my stuff off my truck, took some things home, put some stuff in storage, and that night got on an airplane to go to Chicago. That was my defining moment. Everybody has one. Everybody has one. Just make sure that when you have yours, when you hit your reality of whatever it is, whether you want to come to Super Ego or whether you want to do something else, make sure that it is based on your decision, what you have in your mind, not what somebody else has convinced you of. And the reason why I say that is because let's say you don't do it. Let's say you decide company is a better way for me, which is fine. But then somebody you know goes to Super Ego. Y'all talk several months later, and he's telling you, yeah, I'm averaging X amount of dollars a month. I'm loving it. I'm killing it. I'm crushing it. Now you got to sit back and you got to think to yourself, why didn't I do this when I had the opportunity? And when you get to that point, you don't want to say, well, I allowed this person talk me out of it, that person. No. You want to be able to say, well, at the time I felt that was my best decision. That was what I wanted to do. And it's never too late. You can always say, well, at this point, maybe it is my time to go ahead and do it. Or let's say you make the decision to come to Super Ego, and then for whatever the reason, it doesn't work out for you. Like I said before, it's not for everybody. For whatever the reason, it doesn't work out for you. You want to be able to say, well, I made the decision. I tried it. I know in my heart I gave my 100%, and it just didn't work for me. But you want it to be your decision. You don't want to be like a lot of these other guys that are making videos and blaming somebody else for their lack of success. I can honestly say that I've had jobs that didn't work out, and I've never felt the need to publicly bash them. To me, when somebody dedicates that kind of energy, that's like the person who was in a relationship that lost a relationship. You know what I mean? One person decides they want to break up, they move on, and they live their life happy. Meanwhile, the other person is still kind of hanging on, tugging on, putting all kinds of bad vibe out. Kind of let you know who really wanted to break up. You don't want to be one of those people trying to desperately hang on to that relationship, and because you can't have it, bad talking. So you want the decision to be yours. Okay? Once you make the decision, put it in motion. You heard me compare lease purchase to owner operator, well, in this aspect too. As an owner operator, if you're living in California and the truck you want's in Texas, nobody buys you a bus ticket to Texas. You have to provide your own transportation. That's your first real investment into your business. So when you come to Chicago, you have to provide your transportation. That is your first real investment into your business. Now, once you get to the airport, they have a shuttle service. You contact them. They'll get you out to the terminal, get you signed up, whatever. If you come in the evening, they'll get you to your hotel or whatever. But all that is your decision. Now, once you get there, you want to be prepared. Again, start of your business, your investment. When you get there, they're gonna assign you a yard manager. Yard manager is gonna discuss with you what kind of truck you prefer. They're gonna show you the trucks they have on the lot, and they're also gonna show you a recovery program they have, where you can go pick up the truck somewhere. They'll pay your transportation out to get the truck, and then they'll also give you a bonus for recovering the vehicle. Now, if you want a brand new vehicle, you have to come with the deposit. If you don't come with the deposit, you can get a vehicle with no money down. But keep in mind, it's not a brand new vehicle. It's a vehicle that somebody else had before, somebody else drove before. So it might not be in the best condition. If it's a truck you want, if it's a truck you like, you make it yours. I wasn't ready to put down $5,000 when I got my truck. So I got a second-hand truck. My truck's a 2023 T680. As far as I'm concerned, nobody can clean something as well as I can clean it. So when I got it, first thing I did was clean it up, and I made it mine. I'm very happy with my decision. If somebody asks you would I trade my truck right now for a brand new truck, I'd tell them no. Me and my truck got an understanding. We're good. So hopefully you get that same type of connection when you pick your truck. Okay. When you get there, they do have facilities for you to stay. It's not a hotel thing. It's a room with a bunk, room with a bed. And if you choose to stay there, you can. Once you pick your truck, if your truck is on the lot, you choose to stay in your truck, you can. Or you could choose to do a hotel. I chose to do a hotel. Hotel averages about $100 a night. So when I came, just as you would as a business owner, you want to make sure that you have enough money to cover your necessities until you get on the road. Now, as a business owner, you're flying out to pick up your truck. You got to cover fuel costs. You got to cover your expenses, your food, your whatever, to get you from your truck back home. If you can't pick up your truck the same day you get there, you got hotel expenses, things like that. So it's no different. Well, actually, there is one difference. And that difference is, as a business owner, you pick up your truck, you take it home, you finish your process so that you can start working. As Super Ego, you pick up your truck, you can start working right away. When you leave there on your first job, once you get your first job, your fuel card will be active and boom, off you go. You also have to do a drug test. Just like a business owner, drug test is on you. That's $100. They'll shuttle you out to the clinic, get your drug test, they'll bring you back to the terminal. As far as food's on you. In the same parking lot, on the other side of the parking lot where the terminal is, there's a grocery store. Inside that grocery store has what a lot of grocery stores have today. As part of the deli, they got a salad bar, they got a hot bar, and I ate there every day. I spent about $10, $15. They had fried chicken, baked chicken, shrimp, pot roast, mashed potatoes, etc. And they've got a salad bar. So I would go there for lunch. I would go there, grab my dinner before I left to go back to the hotel. How you do it, what you do it, that's up to you. This is where your making decisions for you actually start. You go to company provides you transportation to wherever you're going to pick up your truck to do your orientation. They provide you a sandwich or a pizza slice or whatever they provide you with. They provide you with your hotel to stay for the night to get that. Working for company. You're not working for company, you're working for yourself. So in working for yourself, you're doing these things as an investment to you. Okay? I chose not to stay at the terminal. I chose to do a hotel. Staying at the terminal, you get one night automatically. If you need an extra night, extra 2 nights, whatever, your yard manager can arrange that where you can do an extra night, 2 nights. At the terminal, they do have a shower area that's open from the nighttime to the morning so you can take a shower. But it's a room with a bed. Doesn't have a TV, doesn't have a refrigerator. It's a room with a bed. Now in the community area, they do have a TV room and PlayStation or whatever that video thing is they have over there. I didn't take part in it. But they have things to do to occupy you. But for me, my focus was my business. I was trying to get as much information as I could, trying to educate myself as much as I could for what to expect. And that was my focus. And starting a new business, again, I can't tell you what to do, but I can recommend. And my recommendation is that you be as prepared, as ready as possible. So you want to talk to as many people as you can. That's what I did. You want to look up as much as you can. You want to ask as many questions as you can. That's what I did. And I felt like by the time I hit the road, I still didn't really know what to expect, but I had a pretty good idea. You know what I mean? A lot of people, they don't do that. I saw guys that, I had potato chips before. Anyway, I saw guys that came in and they knew it all. They went to their orientation with Alfredo Manning, a guy I speak very highly of. He has a channel on here. I watched a lot of his videos before I came here. Very educational, very helpful. In fact, when I went to orientation, it was more of a review of what I'd already learned. But even knowing the information he was going to put out, sitting in that orientation class, I felt was very helpful. It helped bring the pieces together that weren't quite, it brought it all together for me. But there are people in there who just knew better than he did. And I find it confusing because these people have never worked for the company, and this guy's got years in. This guy's got successful years in. This guy's got so many successful years in that they brought him to teach you so that you can do what he did and have successful years. But they knew it all. So they left the orientation. They said they didn't need it. You know who stopped them? Nobody. Do you know who kicked them out the program? Nobody. Why? Because you don't work for the company. This is your business. How you choose to prepare for your business, how you choose to set up for your business is on you. However, if somebody's willing to give you the tools for free to help your business be successful, it would behoove you to at least sit down and listen. As the saying goes, anybody can teach you something. You can learn just as much of what to do by listening to somebody about what not to do, right? So what have you got to lose? You're there anyway. With the orientation, he'll go through a lot of stuff that I'm going to go through, but he breaks it down to the minute. And I'm a math guy, I get it, but I don't break it down. That's too. I'm not going to sit there with my calculator every day, but that's my choice. You might decide to do that. But he'll break down everything to the finest minute detail, and he'll explain everything to the point that, by the time you leave that class, you'll know that you have to go back over it again, because you're probably going to be, heads are going to be exploding, but you will have the information you need as far as how to manage your time, how to manage your money, what to look for, what are the key points, what are the key details that you need to know when you're choosing a load. Okay. And then with that, once you pick your truck, they'll start giving you contracts. And you'll sign a contract for the truck, you'll sign a contract for the trailer, you'll sign contract, get yourself going. Oh, when you pick your truck, if you pick it at the yard, whatever you find wrong with your truck, they'll fix it for you right there at the yard. To the best of my knowledge, at least what I saw, none of the vehicles come with inverters. So if you want an inverter in your truck, I recommend you get it, either bring it with you or go get it once you get there. I bought mine when I was there. I got an Uber out to the Pilot. It wasn't too far from there, like maybe 7-10 miles. And I bought my inverter there. Brought it back. If you bring your inverter to the terminal, they will install it into your truck for free. They installed mine for free. You can get it installed while they're working on whatever you want them to work on your truck while it's in the shop. Once you actually pick up your truck and you're ready to go, it'll give you directions on how to get to the trailer yard, and then go get your trailer. You will be assigned a trailer. However, if you get there and the trailer is not of a condition that you want, you can call the trailer department and they'll issue you another trailer number to go look at. And this process will continue until you find a trailer that you like. Myself, I was probably pissing them off. They're like, damn, is this guy ever going to find a trailer he likes? But I did. And I hit the road. Before I picked up my trailer, I already had my first load. I already had my first trip. My dispatcher contacted me. He's like, hey, I'm your dispatcher. Welcome to the company. I've got a few things in mind where you can go to make money. What do you want to do? And that's where it first really hit me. Wait a minute, what do I want to do? I'm so used to, okay, you picked up your truck. Okay, this is your first load, blah, blah, blah. No. What do you want to do? So I said, well, I live in California. I couldn't carry all my stuff from my truck on my plane. No, not my plane, on the plane. So I need to get out to California so I can get my stuff that I have from my truck, get loaded up. He says, all right, well, rates going into California are not that great right now. I said, yeah, I know, but I need to get my stuff. So he says, okay, well, I can deadhead you to Michigan, and you can pick up a load in Michigan, and you could take that down to New Mexico, and that pays, X amount of dollars a mile. Then I can get you a load from there to Arizona. That'll pay you X amount of dollars a mile. And then I can get you from Arizona to California. So that's going to be your short run. It gets you into California. You already know you ain't going to make that much money in California, but it gets you to where you want to go. And then you can pick up whatever you want, and then I can get you a load out of Ontario, making some money out of California. And that's what he did. My very first week with the company, my gross, and when I say gross, I mean gross for jobs. Before you take out fuel, before you take out, truck payment, before you take out, my gross for my first week was over $6,000 for my first week. And I'm thinking to myself, and they say you can't make money. So I said, okay, well, let's see what happens when I get the breakdown, when I get my payout. So when I got my payout, took out all my fuel expenses, made the decision, I ain't idling my truck no more. I still idle it, but I don't idle it like I used to. They took out my fuel expenses. They took out my truck payment, my trailer payment, took out my insurance payments. And then for like your first month, 2 months, you have an extra payment. I forget what else. Well, then it goes like towards your bank for your repair account or whatever. But they take that out for your first couple months so you can build that up. But my first week, I took home just shy of $1,000. My first week. Now, for my next few weeks, they pretty much average the same. I started getting more comfortable with what I was doing. I started getting more comfortable with looking at loads. I started getting more comfortable with what I wanted and what I didn't want, things like that. And from there, things got better. Things went up. And I'll go into that in the next video. But with this one, from the time that I made my decision to the time that I got on the road, this was my experience with the company. Now, one of the things that I'm sure everybody has heard people talk about is that it's not an American company. Every time I hear that, I'm like, so? What does that mean? Oh, well, just that it's not an American company. Okay. That matters why? Matters how? So? I'm not a Klansman. It doesn't make a difference. Can they get me where I want to go? Can they do what I need them to do? That's all that matters. And when I got there, everybody that was there was very nice, very polite, very helpful. I think that's what matters. Everybody spoke English. I was hoping to run across somebody who speaks Spanish. I could practice my Spanish, but everybody spoke English. And again, everybody was very friendly and very helpful. I didn't see any negative because they were not an American company. Me, myself, I'm not ICE, I'm not immigration, I'm not checking their status, I don't care. Can they get me to where I want to go? Can they get me to where I want, what I want to do? The answer to that was yes. And I met some very nice people in the process. So I had a very good experience. The onboarding, everything, I had a very good experience. For anybody who chooses to go down this road, I would expect that you would have a very similar experience to the one that I had. And going through that process, you will become, I choose to call it a family, but a part of the family of business owners who work with under the umbrella of Super Ego. get to this point, it's all about you. You're on your journey. All right. Have a good day. Be safe out there. What is rough? What is rough? Be safe out there. Take your time. And until next time.